There. I'm going to solve here the worksheet number 17, which is about algebra, and it's basically about changing the subject of a given formula as well as factorization. Today I'm going to solve the odd questions. So I'm going to start with question number 1, skip the next one. Tomorrow I'm going to start with question number 2 and skip the odd questions. All right, so let's get started. Here, okay, rearrange the formula. This is the given formula, and they would like us to make A the subject. To make A the subject. So we are isolating A. We're making A the subject. So accordingly, we're going to transfer minus 2h to the other side of the formula. So we're going to transfer minus 2h to the other side of the formula. So it will be y is originally there. So we start with y. When we transfer minus 2h over there, the sign is going to change. So if we are transferring one term from one side of the formula to the other side, the sign is going to change. Plus 2h is equal to 3a. 3a, we need a as a subject, so we need to get rid of the coefficient of a. We need to get rid of the coefficient of a by dividing all by the coefficient of a, which is 3. Remember, you need to divide each term in the formula by 3. So it will be y over 3 plus 2h over 3 equals to 3a over 3. Accordingly, 3 is cancelled with 3. So a is equal to y over 3 can be written as 1 over 3y plus 2h over 3 can be written as 2 over 3h. And that's how we made y the subject. Let's move to number 3. So rearrange the formula. Y is equal to a over 5. Make a the subject. Make a the subject. Remember, y is equal to a over 5. This side is written as a fraction. So we can write the left side as a fraction. Y is actually equivalent to y over 1. And we can cross multiply. So a times 1 is a equals to y times 5 or 5 times y. So it will be a is equal to 5y. So here it will be 5y. So number 5, rearrange the formula and make a the subject. So y is equal to third times a times h. I can write it as well as y is equal to a times h all over 3, right? And y, it's equal to, just a moment, I just want to write it more clearly. We would like to make it as fraction. 1 over 3 times h, it will be a h over 3, and y, it's y over 1, right? Cross multiply. So cross multiply the numerator on the left multiplied by the denominator, and the numerator on the right multiplied by the denominator. Accordingly, AH times 1, it will be AH equals to AH equals to 3 times y, 3y. We're making A the subject, so divide by h and divide by h. H is cancelled with h, so A will be 3y over h. Let's move to 7. Make P the subject. As you can see, P is distributed, or it is on both sides of the equation. So we need to bring them to one side. So we're going to send this here, and we're going to take this over there. So RP is originally there. So we will write RP, and we're moving 3P to the other side of the equation. So the sign will change. It will be minus 3P equals to. Now 8R is originally on the right side. So 8R will stay. We're transferring positive 5 to the other side of the equation. So it will be minus 5. The sign will change. Okay, so P is our subject. In order to make it the subject, we need to factorize. So we will bring the P out, open a bracket, R is left here, minus 3 equals to. How do we check on the factorizing? P times R is RP or PR. P times 3 is negative 3P. And this side will remain the exact same. Now, P is our subject. So P times what's inside the bracket. To get rid of what's inside the bracket, we're going to divide all this by R minus 3. Accordingly, P is equal to what's on the left side of the equation? 8R minus 5. And we divided each side by this expression, which is R minus 3. So it will be over R minus 3, and P is our subject now. Let's move to 9. Y is equal to x squared plus 4. So x is our subject, or we want to make it as our subject. So we're gonna get rid of negative 4, or we're going to send positive 4 to the other side of the equation. So y is originally there. When we are moving positive 4 to the other side, it will become minus 4 equals to x squared. The opposite operation to x squared is square root. So square root of y minus 4 is equal to square root of x squared. Accordingly, x is equal to square root of y minus 4. Let's move to 11. Make x the subject. Y is equal to x cubic minus 2. So we're getting rid of minus 2 first. We're applying opposite operations, right? So we're going to move this to the other side of the equal. Y is originally there, so y comes down. When we move minus 2 to the other side of the equal, it will become plus 2 equals to what's left here? X cubic. The opposite operation to x cubic is cubic root of y plus 2 is equal to cubic root of x cubic. So the 1x is equal to cubic root of y plus 2. Let's move to 13. So square root of 3c minus 5 is equal to b. We are making c the subject. So we are going to square each side. So square root of 3c minus 5. To get rid of the square root, we're going to square each side. Okay, so that's how we get rid of the square root. So it will be 3c minus 5 is equal to b squared. We're making c the subject. So we're going to transfer this to the other side of the equal. So 3c is left here equals to b squared is originally there, so we start with it. And when we transfer the negative 5 into the other side of the equal, it will become plus 5. So we want C, the subject, not 3C. So we're going to divide all this by 3. Remember, each term by 3 to get rid of the coefficient of C. So C is equal to fraction, it's B squared plus 5 all over 3. Or it can be as well 1 over 3b squared plus 5 over 3. Okay, let's move to 15. Make y the subject. So at first, we need to get rid of the x. So we will say minus x on this side and minus x on this side. Or you can think of it, we're moving x to the other side of the equal. So what is left here? If x is gone, square root of y over 9 is equal to, the 1 is originally there, so we start with it. We're moving positive x to the other side of the equal, so it will become minus x. Okay, so this one here, it can be square root of y over 9 is equal to 1 minus x over 1, right? Over 1. Cross multiply. Cross multiply. So it will be sorry, but I really need to have this arranged here. So okay. So when you cross multiply, it will be 9 times 1 minus x. Don't forget to place this inside a bracket because it is an expression, equals to 1 times square root of y. Anything times 1, it will remain as is. Now, y is my subject, so the opposite operation to square root is to square each side. So we are going to square each side. So it will be square root of y to the power of 2 is equal to, if you want to expand this, so it will be 9 minus 9x all to the power of 2. So y is equal to 9 minus 9x all to the power of 2. That's the final answer.
ماشي.
Yes.
آخر إشي تبع البراكت ما فهمته.
Miss, I really can't help you right now. I'm making the answer key. I will answer this tomorrow. Thank you.
تمام.
So 17, we are going to make P the subject. As we can see that P exists in both sides of the equation, on the left as well as on the right. So we are going to bring them to one side. So if we're bringing this to this side here, so AP is originally there. So when we send it to the other side, it will be minus PX is equal to C. So we are going to factorize. We are going to get P on its own. So when we factorize, P is going to come out. Open the bracket. What is left here? A minus X is equal to C. P times what's inside the bracket. To get rid with what's inside the bracket, we are going to divide all this by A minus X. So it will be P is equal to C over A minus X. And that's the answer. P is equal to C over A minus X. Let's move to 19. We're making W the subject. So since this is the formula that we're having, 4 plus W and W plus 3. Since this side is written as a fraction, we can do this side in the exact same way. And then we can cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, we're going to multiply the fraction by the numerator, the fraction on the left, by the numerator on the right, and the numerator on the left times the denominator on the right. Let's apply this. So it will be 1 times 4 plus W. Anything multiplied by 1, it's going to stay the same, right? So it will be 4 plus W is equal to C times W plus 3. And remember, W plus 3 is an expression, so it must be placed inside a bracket. Now we are going to expand here. Remember, W is our subject, right? So to get this W out of the bracket, we need to expand. So this side, it will remain the same. C times W, it's CW. C times 3, it's plus 3C. Now we need to bring the W's together and to send everything else to the other side, right? So we're going to send this 4 to this side, and we're going to bring, just a moment, and we are going to bring this to this side. So the case will be, what is left here? W. So W is originally there. So we're going to say W, and we're bringing to this side CW. So it will be minus CW because we're sending it to the other side of the equals to, what is left here? 3C. And we're bringing to that side, so 3C is originally there. We are bringing to that side the 4, so it will be minus 4. Let's factorize the W. Why? Because W is my subject. So W, open the bracket, 1 minus C. How do we check on our factorizing? W times 1 is W. W times negative C, it's negative CW or negative WC. And here 3C minus 4. Now, to make W the subject, you're going to divide all this by what's inside the bracket, 1 minus C. Accordingly, the answer here will be W is equal to fraction line. What's on the right side? It's 3C minus 4 over 1 minus C. And this is the final answer. Okay, let's move now to okay, let's do this one. A is equal to open a bracket 2 pi 2 times pi plus y multiplied by x squared, and they want us to make x the subject. Okay, so this is multiplied by x squared, so we need to isolate the x squared. Accordingly, we're going to divide this side by 2 pi plus y and this side by 2 pi plus y. Okay, so this is cancelled with this. Accordingly, x squared is equal to fraction line a over 2 pi plus y. The opposite operation to square is square root of x squared equals to square root of a over 2 pi plus y. Accordingly, x is equal to square root of a over 2 pi plus y. Okay, now we have here this formula. A is equal to pi r L plus pi r squared, and they want us here to make L the subject. L the subject. So we're gonna get rid of this here and send it to the other side of the equal. So A is originally there. If we're sending plus pi y plus pi r squared there, it will be minus pi r squared is equal to pi r L. To get rid of pi r, because we need L to be the subject, we're going to divide all this by pi r, and to divide all this by pi r. This is cancelled with this. Accordingly, L is equal to a minus pi r squared over pi r. We have this formula here. A is equal to P plus P R T over 100. And we're making P the subject. So we need at first to get rid of the denominator. How? We're going to multiply all this by 100. But remember, each term must be multiplied by 100. So 100 times A, it will be 100A equals to 100 times P, it's 100P. And here 100 times PRT over 100 will be PRT. Remember, P is the subject, so it exists in two terms. Accordingly, we must factorize P. So P will come out, open a bracket. What is left here? 100 plus RT. How do we check? You can always expand. P times 100, it's 100P. P times RT, it's PRT. Now we're gonna get rid with 100 plus RT because it is multiplied by P. Then we need to, okay, let me write it in another way. We need to get rid of 100 plus RT, and it is multiplied by P. So we're going to divide all this by 100 plus RT, and to divide all this by 100 plus RT. This is going to be cancelled with this. Accordingly, P is equal to fraction line 100A over 100 plus RT. Okay. Now, we have here P is equal to 2R plus pi R. We're making R the subject. We're making R the subject. As you can see, R exists in two terms here. So the P will come down. The R is going to be factorized, so it will come out. Open a bracket. What is left here? 2 plus, what is left here? Pi. So R times what's inside the bracket. To get rid with what's inside the bracket, because it is multiplied by R, so we're going to divide all this with what's inside the bracket and apply the exact same thing on the other side. So this is going to be cancelled with this. Accordingly, R is equal to fraction P over 2 plus pi. Now, we have this formula S is equal to U times T plus half times A, I hope that I'm writing this correctly, times T squared. And they want us to make A the subject here, okay? So first thing, we're going to send this term to this side. They want us to make A the subject, okay? So it will be S minus U T is equal to, this one it can be written as A T squared over 2. Half times this, it will be written this way. And this one, it's equal to over 1. When you cross multiply, it will be 2. So from here, you go to this step, times S minus ut is equal to 1 times at. Just let me remind you, at squared times 1, and here it will be s minus u2 times 2. So at squared. We're making a the subject and a multiplied by t squared. To get rid of the t squared, we need to divide this by t squared. Whatever I apply on the right, I must apply on the left, and accordingly, this is going to be cancelled with this. Now this is way too dark. Let me just use another color so that you can guys see. So this is cancelled with this, and accordingly the final answer will be a is equal to fraction line 2 times s minus u t all over t squared. Okay, here they want us to make p the subject, so we have y squared minus 2p squared is equal to h. So we want to make p the subject, so we're gonna get rid of, or we can actually, since p is our subject, we can make it positive, so we can say plus 2p squared plus 2p squared line. This is cancelled with this. So what is left here? Y squared will come down equals, read it from the top to the bottom and write it from left to right. So it will be h plus 2p squared. Now, p is the subject, so we're going to say minus h minus h. So it will be here y squared minus h is equal to, this is cancelled with this, so 2p squared is left. Get rid of 2, the coefficient of p squared, so divide all this by 2, divide all this by 2. Accordingly, this is going to be cancelled with this. So p squared is equal to fraction line y squared minus h all over 2. But we want p, so we're going to square root each side. So p is equal to square root of y squared minus h all over 2. And this is the final answer. Okay. Here, solve the equation. So this is the equation that you have. It's 3 times x minus 4 plus fraction x plus 2 over 5 is equal to 6. Type. First step that you need to do, get rid of the brackets. So we need to expand. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times negative 4, negative 12, plus, or here, plus x plus 2 over 5 is equal to 6. Okay. Second thing that we need to do is get rid of the denominator by multiplying each term by 5. So it will be 5 times 3x, 15x. 5 times 12, it will be 5 times negative 12, it will be negative 60. Here, the 5 will be cancelled with this 5, so it will be, so the 5 is cancelled, only the denominator is staying, and 5 equals 5 times 6, which is 30. Okay. Now you are collecting, or we are going to collect like terms. So 15x plus x, the answer will be 16x minus 60 plus 2 minus 60 plus 2, the answer will be minus 58 is equal to what? To 30. Now, to solve it, you're going to say plus 58 plus 58. So, x is equal to 30 plus 58 divided by 16, which will be equal to 30 plus 58 divided by 16, which is 5.5. Perfect. Now we came to factorization. I will also do one after one and skip. Okay, factorizing, we learned about factorizing. For example, if we take 4x, it means 2, we need to write the numbers as primes, 2 times 2 times x, and 8, it means 2 times 2 times 2. And then we are going to take the common factor, so 2 and 2. So the 2 here will come down as 1, 2 times, and this one as 2. So this is 4. Then open the bracket. What is left here? X. The sign in the middle. What is left here? 2. So it will be 4 bracket x minus 2. How do you check? By expanding. So 4 times x, 4x, 4 times negative 2, negative 8. So we got back to the original, which means our factorizing is correct. Okay, 6x cubic. Now, 6x cubic. 6 is 2 times 3. Remember, the numbers must be primes, times x times x times x. Okay, let me write it here once again. Space is very tight. 6x cubic is 2 times 3 times x times x times x. 36x to the power of 5. 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times x by itself 5 times. I'm just trying to explain, guys, here, but unfortunately the space, I will explain it and then I will erase it. So we all agree that this 2 times 3, 1, 2, 3 x's. 36 x to the power of 5. It will be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Why? Because 36, it's 2, 18, 2, 9, 3, 3. So we take the primes, 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Okay? Here, times x1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right? Okay. Now we're going to take the common. This will come down as 1, 2. And this here times 3 will come down as 1, 3. And then x will come down as 1x, so times x. And this will come down as 1x, so times x. And this here will come down as 1x, so times x. This will be 2 times 3, 6. X times x times x, so it's 6x cubic. Open the bracket. Anything is left here? No. So it will be 1 plus, what is left here? 2. Hey, this is the 2. 2 times 3, so basically it's 6. I had 2 times 3, so it's 6. And then we have 1, 2 x's, so x times x, which is x squared. So the answer here is 6x cubic times 1 plus 6x squared. Let me erase this here. Okay, and let me write the answer. So it's 6x cubic times 1 plus 6x squared. Now, if you expand, you must end up with the exact same or with the original expression. Okay? So 6x cubic times 1, it's 6x cubic. 6x cubic times 6x squared, it's 36x to the power of 5, because 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay? Now, let's go to this one here, 15w squared minus 5w. So 5w will come out. 15, it will be 3w minus 1. If you don't know how is this going, so do the original. 15w squared. 15, it is 3 times 5 as primes times w times w. 5w, 5 is originally a prime, so it will be 5 times w. If you take this one out and this one out, it will be 5w. Open the bracket. What is left here? 3w. The sign in the middle or in between the 15 squared and the 5w is minus. And what is left here? Nothing, so it's 1. Okay? That's the explanation for the answer. Okay, let's go to this one here. 12m squared plus 12m cubic. So the 12m squared will come out. Open the bracket. 1 plus 2m. Check 12m squared times 1. It will be 12m squared. 12m squared times 2m. It will be 24m cubic. If you want to know how did we get this, take the first term, which is 12m squared. As prime, it will be, 2 times 2 times 3 times m times m. 24m cubic. It will be as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times m times, so you will take what's common and that's how you find it. Okay, let's move to the next. Now, as you see here, x squared minus 4. So x squared and 4 is a squared number. And we have the minus in the middle. Okay, so in this case, if this is a squared term and this is a squared term with the minus in the middle, then you open, to factorize, you open two brackets. One bracket will take the addition in the middle, the second will take the subtraction in the middle. And here it's x, 4 is 2, 2. And in order to check, you can expand, you will end up with the original expression. Here, squared expression, squared number, and there is the subtraction in the middle. So we open two brackets. The first will take the plus and the second will take the subtraction. X, 25 is 5 and 5. Same applies here. Squared, x squared, subtraction in the middle. 100 is a squared number, so you open two brackets. One will take the addition, the other will take the subtraction. X, and 10, 10, because 10 times 10 will give us 100. Same applies here. X squared, 49 is a squared number because 7 times 7 will give us 49. So how do you do this? You're going to open two brackets. The first will take the addition, the second will take the subtraction. X, and 7, 7. Let's move to G. I will leave the E and F for you to do it. 4x squared minus 64. So 4x squared is squared and 64 is a squared number. 4x squared originally is 2x times 2x and 64 is 8 times 8. So we're going to open two brackets. The first will take the addition and the second will take the subtraction. And here it will be 2x and 2x. And here it will be 8, 8. This is a squared and this is a squared. How do I know? 3x times 3x, it will give me 9x squared. 10 times 10, it will give me 100. So in this case, we open two brackets. One will take the addition, the second will take the subtraction. 9x squared, it's 3x times 3 times 3x, and the 100, it will be 10, 10. 4x squared is 2x times 2x, and 9, it's 3 times 3. And there is a subtraction in the middle. So open two brackets. One will take the addition, the other will take the subtraction. So this will be 2x, 2x, and this will be 3, 3. And in order to check, you can always expand. Same applies here. 16x squared, it's 4x times 4x, and 9, it's 3 times 3. And there is a subtraction in the middle. Open two brackets. One will take the addition, the other will take the subtraction. 16x squared, it's 4x times 4x, and 9, it's 3 times 3. 36 is a squared number. It's 6 times 6, and 49 is a squared number. 7 times 7, x squared, it can be x by x. 9 is a squared number, 3 times 3, and 100 is a squared number, which is 10 times 10. And there is a subtraction in the middle. So open two brackets. One will take the addition, the other will take the subtraction. So this one, it will be 6 over 7x, and here 6 over 7x, and 9 over 100, it will be 3 over 10 times 3 over 10. Same applies here. 9 is 3 times 3, x squared is x times x, and there is a subtraction in the middle. Open two brackets. One will take the addition, another will take the subtraction. 9, it's 3 times 3, and x squared, it's x times x. 2x squared minus 200. Here we have two steps of factorization. So, can we get the 2 out? Factorize the 2, open the bracket, it will be x squared minus 100. So this is step number 1. Now, if you look here, x squared is x times x, 100 it's 10 times 10. So the second step of this factorization, 2 will stay as is, and you open a bracket like this, and it will be two brackets plus minus x 10 10. Okay, here 3x squared minus 27. Can we factorize the 3? Can we factorize the 3? 3 is gonna come out, open a bracket, x squared is left, minus 9, 3 times x, 3x squared, 3 times negative 9, negative 27. Okay, now, are we done? No. Why? Because x squared is x times x, and 9 is 3 times 3, and there is the subtraction in the middle. So in this case, we will leave the 3 here. We will open this squarish bracket, and we will open the two rounded brackets. One will take the positive and the other will take the negative. So x 3 3. Okay, now here we are factorizing quadratic equations. Okay, so in this case, I prefer to finish this video here, to be honest, and I will do a separate video for this part of the of factorization. Thank you so much for your time, and we will do the rest of the questions in another video, inshallah. Thank you and have a good night.